Good day, serfs. In our previous lesson you were taught how greed, gluttony, and vanity have helped destroy the glorious illusion of reality you have built for yourselves. If you did not understand the lesson, go back and watch it again, and leave any questions you have in the comments. If you are still completely lost, you may want to watch the lessons I presented to you last summer. Waking up and living like a real human in these last weeks of 2011 will be in your best interests.
Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress?
Fine, I'll give you one more, then we'll start the next lesson. Full-time job zombie sheeple have let envy disrupt their logical thought processes. They cannot accept that their masters have found replacement people to work for less money, and have developed technology to replace many aspects of human labor with robotics. Instead of coming up with their own innovative ideas to sustain their lives, they instead focus on how the elitists continue to acquire more and more wealth and hate them for it. Ron Paul is running for president, and seems to have a good shot at succeeding. Here's his take on things.
Money is a big deal. I deal with it on a personal sense, that money doesn't influence me, and most people know that. But boy, I think this is it. People are sick and tired of it. But we have to look at the big picture too as well. But it is really sick, and we see a lot on the surface, but there's money in the underground as well. They put it under the table, and who knows what is going on. If they're passing on contracts and favoritism, and you have the Fed involved too, no wonder the people are upset. But you know, I find it interesting that they put up with it for a long time. A few of us were talking about it, but now everybody's starting to hurt. And of course, I guess maybe that's what you have to wait for. If people get hurt and realize there's something very bad going on, and we have to deal with it. So hopefully we can accomplish it and get back to sensible government. But I'm holding my breath, but doing the best I can. But I've written about this too, and talked about it in my speeches, that I expected this to come because I thought the country would eventually go broke, and we are at that point. And then the pie is shrinking, and then those people who want to influence government and make demands, they get louder and louder. So it is a major problem, and as important it is to deal with the political ramifications, but it's also the economics. Unless, you know, if everybody had a job, nobody would be worrying about this. But because people have lost their jobs and lost their homes, and see people still getting these benefits, this remains a major problem. I don't know enough to understand exactly how your amendment would affect the Federal Reserve, but you can't ignore that, because that's where, you know, very wealthy individuals get the bailouts, and international too. This is not only domestic. It's just, I'm amazed that the dollar holds up like it does. There are limits to it, but this thing is much bigger than I think the world has ever experienced before, because this has been going on for 40 years essentially. But I do know that it's coming to an end. We're in transition.
The opposite of envy is kindness. The opposite of vanity is humility. Feeding envy costs you time and puts you into a negative vibration. The cost of feeding vanity is large. Remember those times when you purchased a name brand item, even though the store brand or off-brand cost much less and ultimately was of the same quality? The elitists take advantage of envy and vanity. Let me further explain.
Takes a lot of little nuts to make a jar of peanut butter.
Jiffy, for example, is a brand name. Their peanut butter costs much more than their store brand equivalents, despite the fact that they contain the same ingredient and taste the same. They also sell many more jars than the store brand. An obvious truth that sheeple refuse to realize is that the same company jars both the name brand and the store brand. It's even done in the same factory. As the jars go down the conveyor belt toward labeling, some are directed one way, and the rest are directed the other way. One route leads to the name brand label, the other leads to the store brand label. Instead of purchasing a product like a human would, sheeple instead buy the brand. They worship the graven image, and get duped out of several dollars each time.